from $125,000 to $350,000 per year through 2027. Our Brett Rosen spoke with a city council member who will be at that vote on Wednesday, and he has the latest tonight.
Palm Springs Pride is just 3.5 weeks away, an event that, according to the city, brings in more than 200,000 visitors. And now, in a recent request from the Greater Palm Springs Pride, there will be a city council meeting on Wednesday for increased funding from the city through 2027, an increase that will see a number of $125,000 jump to $350,000. We at NBC Palm Springs reached out to the city, and they said in a statement in part, quote, "This item is going before council to consider updating the agreement so that it aligns with the resources necessary to produce the weekend of festivities with the goal of ensuring a safe, enjoyable, and well-organized event for everyone." Palm Springs City Council member Jeffrey Bernstein says the vote for increased funding will be for safety.
This is for in-kind services of city efforts. So public safety, our fire, our police, security, barricades, things like that.
In the same statement from the city, it points out how Mayor Rhonda Hart is recused from the vote. This would be due to his ties, as he is the CEO of Greater Palm Springs Pride. When asked about whether or not there is a power dynamic with the mayor behind the organization that's asking for the increased funding, Bernstein says because of the revenue Pride brings in, it didn't matter who was the CEO behind the organization.
I don't think it's really an issue, and I think we can have this in discussion. But the truth is that if anyone were doing this event, I think the city would be equally concerned about the safety of our residents and our visitors.
When reaching out to the city clerk about the timeline of when the request was made and when it was brought to the public, they said in part, quote, "All items on the agenda were posted and noticed to the public as usual on Thursday, October 16th at approximately 7:36 p.m., well within the 72 hours as required by state statute." End quote. Again, this vote for raised funds will be this Wednesday at Palm Springs City Hall. I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
A local alert this evening, a chaotic scene unfolding in Indio earlier today. Police shutting down a portion of Highway 111 after a vandalism report turned into a 6-hour-long standoff. According to police, it all started just before 9 a.m. Officers responded to a report of vandalism at the Riverside County District's office in Indio. Investigators say a witness followed the suspect to a second location where he continued damaging property before climbing onto the roof of the Sunline Bus building. Desert Regional SWAT team responding into the scene, assisting in the arrest. Indio police officers flew a drone over the scene as well to track the suspect's location.
It required multiple officers at this location due to the road closures and setting up a perimeter around the building where he was located. Flashbangs were deployed, but not intended to hit the person. They were used more for a distraction while they made the approach to take him into custody.
Police tell us the male suspect was wanted for vandalism, assault with a deadly weapon, and had an outstanding felony warrant. Highway 111 has since reopened to traffic.
Earlier today, students from Desert Mirage High School took part in a career exploration day at the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens. The event connected STEM and biodiversity education to real-world careers, conservation, and animal services, or sciences, I should say, working to prepare students for secure jobs and sustainability right here in the Coachella Valley. Throughout the year, students collaborate with animal care and horticulture teams to gain practical experience and build strong resumes. Next Monday, they'll work alongside Living Desert professionals and the Walt Disney Company conservation experts to build pollinator pods. Those pods will be installed at Cotino, Story Living by Disney, that's the new residential community, and Rancho Mirage that's currently under construction. Organizers say it's also a great way to highlight their Zoo Teens program, which is currently accepting applications for the school year.
Today is the final day to register to vote online or by mail for the upcoming statewide special election taking place November 4th. Now, if you're a first-time voter or need to update your address or party affiliation, you must submit a voter registration application. That can be done online, by mail, or in person. Eligible voters who miss today's deadline will not receive a vote-by-mail ballot, but can still participate through conditional voter registration. You can visit voteinfo.net for all of the latest information. And let's take a quick break from the headlines and bring you a beautiful live look outside our Agua Caliente casino camera downtown Palm Springs as we check in with Pablo Alsina tonight. We've been a little spoiled by the cooler conditions this October, Pablo. I know you've got some bad news for us tomorrow, but you know what? Anything under 100 degrees, I will take.
Totally agree with that. Keep them way under 100, but we will get a bit close. Right now at 93 degrees. Last week we were around 10 degrees cooler than normal. Now we're actually 3 degrees hotter than normal for this time of year. But you have to love 11% humidity, very dry air outside, so even though it's hot, it's very comfortable. But look how quickly temperatures shot up to 92 degrees, and then at night they're only going to drop to the high 70s, where 2 days ago we were in the low 50s. So definitely we're feeling that low pressure system has left the city, and now that heat's coming in from a high pressure system. Yucca Valley at 78 degrees right now, Thousand Palms at 90, Indio at 88, Palm Springs already at 93 degrees. Our 3-day comfort air forecast on Monday 92. Tuesday will be the hottest day of the week, reaching 94, nearly 95 degrees. But then on Wednesday, we're going to drop 10 degrees because of a low pressure system, get back into those 80s, but then right back up to the 90s. I'm Pablo Alsina. I have the full forecast, and you'll see the whole week and how the temperatures are going to go up and down and up again. Back to Olivia and Mark.
All right, Pablo, thank you for that. With the federal government shutdown now stretching into its third week, we're seeing ripple effects beyond Washington, D.C. Here in the Coachella Valley, one nonprofit that works closely with federal land is feeling the impact. Here's Alondra Campos.
Friends of the Desert Mountains has long partnered with the federal government to deliver nature education and conservation programs on the Santa Rosa and San Jacinto Mountains National Monument. But with the shutdown forcing federal offices and visitor centers to close, their staff had no choice but to pack their things.
Once we found out that we would be locked out of our offices, we started preparing. We made sure our computers are programmed to work from home. We got a storage facility, stored all of our materials for our educational programs so we can continue serving the community here with our environmental education.
Programs such as bird walks, tortoise talks, and volunteer training sessions are on hold or being reworked.
Right now, we are having some issues here. Our programs at the visitor center we won't be able to do because they're on federal land. Our gift shop is closed, so that reduces some of the revenues coming in.
The Friends of the Desert Mountains provide a range of free and low-cost nature education services, including field trips for students, interpretive hikes, and volunteer opportunities that help preserve our local desert landscapes. However, because their offices are located on federal land, the nonprofit was required to clear the premises, relocating staff on October 2nd. Still, the organization is adapting, exploring alternate ways to continue providing their resources to the community.
We have in November, we'll be starting up our Coachella Valley Unified School District trips with their ACES program. So we are ready for that. We have stored all of our supplies and we're ready to keep on going. We hope that there's a solution sooner than later for these offices to be opened back up, and so we can continue moving forward. We do have one of our largest annual event coming up on November 12th, and so we have a lot of organizing and working to do for that, so it would really be beneficial if we had these offices.
Organizers are now urging community members to visit their webpage in order to stay updated with the community events.
But we're also ready to, pivot and make whatever changes we need to make sure that we continue our programs, continue our fundraising, and are able to provide this educational opportunities for people of all ages in the Coachella Valley.
For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Alondra Campos.
There are dozens of unsolved homicides across the Coachella Valley, and that's the focus of my special report, which airs tomorrow night. In it, I speak to victims, families, and investigators of 3 unsolved murders, including the death of Edward Snyder, a Palm Desert husband and father who went out for his nightly walk and was shot to death in his own neighborhood.
My thought is let's go drive where I know his route. So this is where I went. I went Kentucky straight. Then I see all the cops, all the lights.
Most neighborhoods have some problems. We have some vandalism prior to all this. But is this a trend? Who's next? So yeah, it was edgy for quite a while.
Who killed Edward Snyder and what did neighbors hear that night? We'll look into those details and the 2 other local cases tomorrow night around 9:30 in the evening, right after NBA's doubleheader tip-off. Coachella Valley Cold Cases only on NBC Palm Springs.
All right, coming up next tonight, it is fast, it is fun. It's called paddle. We have more on the game that's flying off the court.
Plus, the Coachella Valley Scorpions pickleball team has a big weekend up in Seattle. We have the details a little later on in sports, so stay with us for that.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 5.
Welcome back. We're following a crash at the intersection of Bob Hope and Ramon Road this evening. It's causing some backup in that intersection. Multiple cars involved in the crash. Emergency services are still on scene. We have some video here. This was taken from our Agua Caliente casino camera from just a few minutes ago. And in it, you can see that tow truck right there in the middle, loading up a vehicle. Other vehicles parked off to the side that were seemingly involved. Sheriff's deputies also on scene. They're redirecting traffic. That right turn lane, they're closed. As of now, no fatalities or injuries have been reported, but we have reached out to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department for the latest details, and we will provide them to you when they become available. Well, it's fast, it's fun, and it's flying onto courts across the country. And while it may look like tennis at a first glance, it plays by a whole different set of rules.
The sport is called paddle. NBC Palm Springs' Mary Strong hit the court to see what the buzz is all about and whether she could keep up.
It's spelled P-A-D-E-L, but however you pronounce it, this sport is turning heads and breaking a sweat. Paddle has exploded across Europe and Latin America, and now it's bouncing into the U.S., glass walls and all. To figure it out, I got on the court with tennis and paddle pro Kyrwin Evans of Win Tennis and Paddle, who made it look way too easy.
You're watching it hit the glass, then as it comes forward, you follow the ball.
Sounds simple, right? Let's just say it takes a little getting used to. After a few reps, it was game on. Paddle is a cross between racquetball and tennis. It's always played in doubles, same scoring as tennis, but on a court a third smaller. You've got a thick, lightweight paddle strapped to your wrist, and the ball has less air for longer rallies.
But when the ball goes past you, now you've got a second chance. So that is the allure to it.
Paddle Paddle was born in 1969 in Acapulco, Mexico, when Enrique Coquiera built a court in his backyard and surrounded it with walls to keep the balls out of his neighbor's yard. Now it's on track to become an Olympic sport by 2032. The Parker Palm Springs has 2 of just 3 public courts in the valley. They're offering locals and guests a taste of the global craze.
It's fully transparent, so even the corners, with other courts, other padel courts, there are often either metal or plastic elements that kind of block full court viewing, and that's not what we have here.
So how exactly do you pronounce the world's fastest growing sport?
All of the pros say padel. A lot of European countries have always said paddle. Some areas in France and some in other kind of European companies say padel.
I clearly have a lot to learn. This game is full of strategy, speed, and a whole lot of surprises, and it's a great workout. If you like tennis and pickleball, this may in fact be your new obsession. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Mary Strong.
All right, our thanks to Mary for that. If you're someone who's interested in giving paddle a try, you can book a court right now over at Parker Palm Springs. Just go ahead and call the spa.
Looks like a lot of fun out there. Here's a live look outside our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. The sun shining bright today and temperatures on their way up. Pablo Alcina's in right after the break. Stay with us.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful.
Happy Monday. I am Pablo Alcina, and I am in love with these blue skies. Look how perfect that is. It almost looks fake as we look at the Walter Clark cam. Simply gorgeous. Very little wind, though, and the temperature started to go up a lot higher than what we're used to this time of year, around 4 degrees hotter than normal. Normally 90 degrees. Today reaching 93, 94 degrees. Nowhere near the record 108 degrees set in 2023. And if you look at the whole Southwest, Palm Springs, hey, we're #1, the hottest in the region at 93 degrees. San Diego, beautiful 77. LA at 83 degrees. Even Vegas at just 82 degrees in the third week of October. Looking at the high temperatures we saw today, Cabzon at 85 degrees. Joshua Tree with a high of just 81. Check out Indio, our friends there at 92 degrees. And Idlewild, a beautiful 74 were their high temperatures. I haven't visited Idlewild, but people tell me it's gorgeous. I'm going to go check it out. So reach out to me, invite me somewhere in Idlewild. Palm Springs, a low of 65 tonight. Joshua Tree, 52. Palm Desert at 62. And again, a few days ago, we were in the low 50s, so definitely the temperature's going up, and it's going to get even hotter. On Tuesday, it will be the hottest day of the week. Very little winds right now, going up to 8 miles an hour. Whitewater, the strongest wind in the area at 12 miles per hour. But if you look for a nice walk at night, gorgeous. In the 70s around 8 p.m. Midnight, also 71, so again, a lot hotter. But Tuesday, as we look at our 7-day comfort air forecast, will be the hottest day at 94. But check out Wednesday. We're going to get 10 degrees cooler because of a low pressure system that's going to come into the area. We're going to be at 84 degrees and then back up to the 90s. And no, I'm not talking Backstreet Boys and NSYNC temperature-wise, but I can deal with 90. I'm Pablo Alsina. Keep it here on NBC Palm Springs.
And now, NBC Palm Springs Sports with Caitlin Kelly, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Well, welcome back. It was a championship weekend for the Coachella Valley Scorpions pickleball team. The team traveled up to Seattle this weekend to compete in the National Pickleball League Championship Tournament. And they got all the way to the championship match against the hometown favorites and #1 nationally ranked Seattle Tsunami.
Championship point. Second time. Ooh, that's just that's it. Coachella Valley, the Scorpions are your 2025 National Pickleball League champions.
And with that killer ace, the Scorpions won the match and officially won the NPL title. The team was also awarded $50,000 for the victory. And in hockey news, the Coachella Valley Firebirds hit the ice yesterday against the Bakersfield Condors. The Firebirds would start hot and score 3 goals in the first period to go ahead early, but the Condors would come roaring back. Regulation gameplay would end in a 4-4 tie and send the game to overtime, where the Condors would score, handing the Firebirds a tough 5-4 loss. And in case you missed it, another episode of Firebirds Off the Ice aired yesterday. The show, which is, of course, hosted by our very own Tim O'Brien, gives Firebirds fans a chance to peek behind the scenes and see the interworkings of all things Firebirds. You can watch the last night's episode and all episodes on NBC Palm Springs website. Just look for the Off the Ice tab. That'll do it for sports. I'm Caitlin Kelly.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. If you're only watching us on TV, you're only getting part of the story. Head to our new website for the latest broadcasts, digital exclusive content, contests, and more. Go to NBCPalmSprings.com. Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our
Before we go, something fun to look forward to. Desert Hot Springs is getting ready for its newest concert series, Desert Nights on the Boulevard. The city is bringing a free bi-monthly concert series to its residents. So as you can see here, the hard work is underway, revamping what was once known as Friday Nights on Pearson. Concerts will feature DJs and tribute bands twice a month, along with a beer garden and local food vendors. This free series kicks off Saturday, October 25th on Pearson Boulevard. It runs from 6 to 10. It starts with a Halloween-themed concert. Here at NBC Palm Springs, we are a proud sponsor of this event, so we hope to see you having fun out there. Our Alondra Campos will be emceeing the first concert, which is this Saturday, so this should be a great time. And we looked ahead. We saw some other fun tribute bands there. What did we see? Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Madonna,
Taylor Swift. There's something for everyone.
Sounds like fun. All right, that's going to do it for us. Nightly News is next. We're back here at 6 with the latest local headlines. We'll see you then.